Welcome back to Phantom Power Hour. I'm Josh.
And I am Jose Cuervo.
Whoa, this is new information.
Jeremy.
Uh,
The wife likes tequila.
I decided to let you out of my basement.
You'll have to bleep out Cuervo once. You can't say that on YouTube.
I think you can.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll find out. It's fine. Their rules change all the time. Like their algorithm changes all the time.
I wasn't say it in the first 10 seconds.
I wasn't planning on even talking about this, but we were chatting about the weird just algorithm nonsense that's been going on with YouTube lately.
Mine is since you said it, I've noticed it more.
Yeah, it's been weird.
Yeah. Every night we watch like a silly game to when kids cuddle before we go to bed. We watch Real Civil Engineer typically. It's his soothing voice puts our children to sleep. But they normally pop up like every night when you go to like whatever you typically play. Okay, that's obviously nighttime because all my nighttime shows pop up on YouTube. No, not anymore. It's like 3-4-year-old videos.
It's been really strange. Like it's a hodgepodge of creators that I will watch periodically, but none of their new stuff. It's like 3 to 5 year old content, and then brand new creators that have really low subscriber count, which I was telling you on the phone. I kind of like that. I think that's cool.
It is.
I mean, we have a pretty low following on this channel, and if that means that this new algorithm might potentially push it more to get in front of more eyes, I'm all about that.
Mm-hmm. But it also feels like weirdly AI.
Yeah.
Because I watch a ton of cooking stuff on YouTube, and on my For You page, my cooking section is filled with like, it says it's cooking, but it's like making cartoon cakes out of concrete. Like it's not cooking. It's just here's cooking adjacent. I don't know.
When I was down and out with my sickness over the weekend, I had a Will Tennyson binge. And I just watched a bunch of Will Tennyson stuff.
Will Tennyson.
Me too, man. He does such a good job of building that story arc and keeping it entertaining. And anyway, I watched maybe 3 or 4 videos of his in a row. And then it did this weird thing where usually in the past, it'll like still have whatever I recently watched a few times in a row as like a top recommendation on my homepage. But now it's like all Will Tennyson. And it's just like pigeonholed me there. And I refresh it, and it's like still the same like 3-year-old Will Tennyson videos. And that has never happened to me before. Usually I can refresh and it'll be like a whole new group of things to watch. But
so what you need to do is watch a couple Phantom Power Hour videos, go watch a couple Recording Studio Loser videos, and then just get used to our pretty faces.
Yeah, just only watch those things.
Definitely won't infuriate you over time.
No, never.
I have noticed it on my channel. Like all the old videos are getting bonkers views. What is happening?
Well, even on Phantom Power Hour, I just pulled up the dashboard a few minutes ago while we were getting ready, and the most recent commented things were like 2-year-old podcasts.
Like when we started?
Yeah. I was like, oh no, don't watch those. I mean, do, but also don't. Well, that was off the beaten. There really is no beaten path today, Jeremy. I have some things that we can talk about.
Let's talk.
Let's start with what I think is maybe the biggest thing.
What do you think is the biggest thing?
Well, I'll show you later. This news is a couple weeks old or by now. All of Spotify was scraped. I think it's like 300-ish terabytes of Spotify was just taken and thrown into a dungeon to save.
If anything, I'm a little surprised that all of Spotify fits in 300 terabytes.
Well, think about the quality that Spotify streams.
Oh, noted.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I do believe that's part of it. I'll pull up an article here and make sure that these claims are accurate, but I believe a majority of the content is 192 kilobytes per second that they got.
I think that was the max. Before I left Spotify, that was the highest you could stream at.
Yeah. So what's interesting to me, like that in general is interesting. And there is that kind of ethical question of at what point does this turn into conservatism and like saving the history of art versus just straight up piracy, right? So I think that's something interesting to think about in this context because of how much churn there can be on a streaming service. And Spotify, for the most part, unless it's at the user discretion or the artist discretion, just has whatever is uploaded as kind of evergreen content, right? But that doesn't mean it always will be that way. That doesn't mean at some point Spotify won't come in and start stripping things willy-nilly for no reason. We don't know what the overlords of Spotify will ever do, really. So I could see this being a interesting move for like a Noah's Ark of streamed music. And it led me down this other interesting path of when it comes to big artists, how much of that can you actually get physically anymore? And I know there's a lot of artists that are doing the vinyl thing.
Yeah.
In my mind, that doesn't fully count.
I have a whole other tangent on vinyl and modern releases, but go on.
But when it comes to, like, let's just say CD quality, I know that I feel as though CD quality could still be used as like the industry standard for music quality. I know you have FLAC and there's other uncompressed versions.
But
you can get WAV files.
Even CD quality, as we consume now, is a compressed format. 16-bit, 44.1 kilohertz, where most streaming services that aren't Spotify, 24-bit, 48 kilohertz.
This is true. But so the thought is, how many artists that are on streaming services even offer a physical, at minimum, CD quality version of their music?
I haven't seen very many on merch tables.
No, even like independent artists are selling less and less CDs at shows and stuff now.
I see a lot of cassettes.
There are cassettes.
Where do you even get a cassette player anymore? Other than Goodwill or like...
I think there are some like, I don't even want to label it as audiophile, but audio fanatic companies where it's I was
going to say, there's no way audiophiles are going back to the cassette world.
No, but I think those same groups of people that are like just into audio as a consumer in an interesting way have some like boutique options of getting tape players, cassette players, that kind of thing.
You remember the old Talkboy?
I don't. Is it pre-Walkman?
Like, no, it was like the Home Alone thing.
Oh, yeah.
Still have one.
I never had one of those. I did have my fair share of Walkman, a couple cassette ones that I broke for sure. And then I graduated to the CDs.
My wife still has her Pink Talk Girl.
That's cool.
Yeah, they are cool.
That's very cool. So Anna's Archive is who's behind the scraping. Have you ever heard of Anna's Archive before?
No.
So it's annas-archive.org, I believe. And this will lead us into another interesting ethical question as well. Anna's Archive has been well known in the kind of pirating world. I might be wrong about the address then.
That was the one that came up on Google.
Oh, was it? I mean, maybe there's some stuff going on.
They get taken down?
Potentially. I mean, going after all of Spotify is a pretty risky move. He's trying to look it up right now, and it's not loading the page.
I click on that, and it's .org, but when I click, it changes it to .borg.
Try manually typing it, or I can.
Can't be reached.
There we go. .li currently works. Anna's Archive has been really well known in the pirating community for a long time now. I don't know when they officially spun up at first, but up until recently, their main shtick was preservation of printed material. Everything from ebooks to, textbooks, all that kind of stuff. And I believe they recently dipped their toes into audiobook versions of things as well. Comics, manga, a bunch of printed material and printed material adjacent things.
Oh my gosh. This is insane.
But a lot of people, unless you're kind of in the know, then you never really heard of it. The only reason I'm familiar with it is because I've had a few friends over the years pick up Kindles and the the idea behind a lot of these things is kind of frustrating, and I think it can be correlated to, subscription services for software. But if you buy a book on Kindle, well, then you just have that software version. I don't even know if you technically own it or if it's a licensing thing. But then if you buy a printed book, there's no option to just get an ebook version of that exact same thing.
Sometimes you get the code to do it, but
yeah, and that's become a little bit more popular, but not super popular by any means. I would say probably less than 0.1% of purchasable physical books have that as an option.
And so that new graphic for you, that is an ass statistic.
Pulled out of the ether of our bumholes. I did say I would guess. So
no, I know.
It is.
You're probably not far off.
Pseudoscientifically accurate. So anyway, I feel Anna's Archive has never really gotten a lot of mainstream flack thrown their way. And I mean, I guess I'll ask you, Jeremy, did you even know that there were piratable books that you could get?
No, I'm kind of like going through it right now. This is crazy.
Almost anything you could imagine is on there. I hadn't really known that this was a thing either. And it's interesting to me that something like this hasn't like come under fire. I mean, if we think back to, obviously Napster is probably the biggest one in people's minds of a torrenting or pirating website that's ever come under fire. But then there's like the Pirate Bay and things like that are consistently getting shut down and respun up and all of that.
MyTunes Redux was like the biggest thing.
Oh yeah, that was the local sharing, right, of iTunes. Yeah. So, what was I going to say?
Off camera, Sam.
Slinky walking. Sneaky. Yeah, no, I like your sneaky walk.
That was an excellent sneak job.
It's like who's Shaggy? Remind me of Shaggy, the way he walks.
It's the Jinkos.
Could be the Jinkos, yeah.
My favorite book's on here.
Yeah? What is your favorite book?
How to Win Friends and Influence People.
No. I saw the mind control one, and I thought maybe it was that one.
That's the one I didn't want you to see.
There's a lot of them over there. So Anna's Archive, you can get Kindle versions of all these ebooks sent directly to your Kindle. You could download PDF versions of these books, other formats that fit whatever kind of e-reader you're using. You can stockpile them, all that kind of stuff. They just scraped all of Spotify, and from what I have read, they are going to be releasing it in different iterations to eventually kind of create this library, if you want to call that, of just all music from Spotify.
I found my next read, How to Gaslight.
Perfect. That looks like it's a whole series.
Wow. This is a 4-book collection on proper gaslighting techniques.
How meta would it be if they were consistently gaslighting the reader?
Okay. Manipulation. How to manipulate. Wow. How to Win Friends and Influence People is not a gaslighting book. It's actually a really helpful book. So it's an interesting company right now. Anyway.
So Anna's Archive themselves, I won't read this whole thing. It's pretty long, but their little blurb up top, they say, we backed up Spotify, metadata, and music files. It's in distributed bulk torrents, about 300 terabytes, grouped by popularity. This release includes the largest publicly available music metadata database with 256 million tracks and 186 million unique ISRCs.
Hang on. How do you have 256 million tracks but 186 unique ISRCs?
Unsure. I don't know.
That doesn't compute because you can't. Okay.
It's the world's first preservation archive for music, which is fully open, meaning it can easily be mirrored by anyone with enough disk space, with 86 million music files representing around 99.6 of listens. So again, from what I'd read before, I believe that what they mean by 99.6% of listens is while scraping Spotify, they focused more so on highly streamed content and not so much on content that has been streamed like 2 or 3 times, which makes sense to me. That's a lot of data. That's a lot of time. So you want to make sure you get the more popular things first.
Interesting how many duplicate tracks there are, though, because 2 songs can share the same ISRC if they're the exact same sound recording, nothing down to milliseconds. But the only way you do that if like your band put out a single that has an ISRC and then you re-release an album that has that song on it. Now that shares an ISRC. So there's like 2/3, a third of music that's just straight up duplicates. That's wild.
If that is the only way that this happens, one, the strategy for years now has been single, maybe 4th single, release album. And one of the other strategies that I heard from, there's this like music marketing guru book thing that I saw this in, but the idea of each single you release, you append it to the previous one as an EP. And so if you do that like 4 times in a row, potentially that would, on Spotify's back end, count as unique different EPs, right? So you'd have one for the first single, then another one with the 2 singles, third one 3 singles, fourth one 4 singles, and then the full album. So maybe that's what it is.
Oh my gosh.
I would imagine, though, given the thought that they put into not focusing on low streams and things like that, I would imagine that there's got to be another reason behind the 256 million tracks versus 106 million ISRCs.
That's the most interesting part of this whole thing.
Yeah. It might say somewhere, for popularity, we got files representing about half the number of listens, either original or a copy with the same ISRC. Our data is well annotated. Music Brains has 5 million unique ISRCs, while our database has 186 million. Since the original files contain 0 metadata, as much metadata as possible was added to the OGG files, including title, URL, ISRC.
Yeah, they probably wouldn't. Duplicates per... Wow.
2 or 3 or even 20 different versions.
Holy cow. And they have to be identical. They're identical. Can you imagine having 20 versions of the same song?
I don't even know how or why that would happen in the first place.
That's the more interesting part. I mean, obviously, this is crazy.
And then it goes into a bunch of their code. So what's cool about this is their approach to having this like open sourced piracy, essentially, where like as you scroll through, they're telling you all their scripting, all the coding that they use. They want people to kind of
to
copycat, make their own archives of this archive, which is what a lot of piracy is in the first place.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a hydra. You chop off one head and 2 others spring up in their place. It was astounding to me, though, man.
It's such a interesting back and forth. I love that somebody gave the middle finger to Spotify, but then here we are devaluing music again. But this kind of could revalue music. It's a weird, like...
It's interesting. There are so many different perspectives on what's right and what's wrong in this kind of world. And there will for sure be people that see this as an opportunity to just, I can save money on my internet. I don't have to pay for a subscription to a streaming service anymore. I can just go download whatever I want. And I bet there's already a program spun up with maybe even like a Spotify type of skin where you can run Spotify locally. I bet that's, if it's not out now, it's probably in the works.
Oh, yeah.
On the other hand, though, I do think that this can be viewed as like a Noah's Ark of art. Like, we don't know any of the possibilities of what can happen in a digitized world the way that we're in right now.
how much stuff has been like absolutely buried or impossible to find
Yeah.
because it's all algorithmic, and that's interesting.
Yeah. Or who knows what kind of like cybersecurity risks there are. And I don't think that Spotify would be high on the list of somebody wanting to go wipe everything. And if we're honest, if these companies are following the type of cybersecurity rules of backups on backups on backups, that's not even really a true threat. But at the same time, who knows? Nobody believed the storm was coming until it was there, and then we had all the animals on the boat, you know? But I thought that was really, really interesting. I'm curious to see if Spotify will remain the sole property that gets hit with this, or if we're going to see this hit Apple Music, YouTube,
Would there be
Tidal.
so many duplicates, though? I feel like you wouldn't even have to.
Well, if something, Spotify's the lowest quality of.
It is the lowest quality, but now if you look, okay, now our file sizes are twice as big. Now that's if it doesn't seem like the goal is let's get the highest quality. We're just backing this up for posterity.
Unless this is a proof of concept. And if you look through the book side, there's tons of duplicates of the books in Anna's archive.
Yeah.
Including languages, right? And I know that that's a little bit different when it comes to the music world, but there are US releases versus like a Japanese release, for example, of different albums and stuff. So I don't know, man. I almost wonder if Spotify being hit first was more of a proof of concept before this goes and gets bigger.
So is this an ongoing thing, or could it even possibly be? Because like 60,000 plus tracks a day are uploaded to Spotify. 100 megabytes a second, an hour, 100 plus megabytes per hour.
Yeah. That's a good question. I have a feeling that it's going to be a cat and mouse situation, first of all, where obviously Spotify doesn't want this happening. I don't know how you could really prevent it. I don't know how this was tackled in the first place. It must have taken a giant team of people, because you're not getting this all from just one IP address.
And how would they break it up?
Yeah. So it must have been and there's probably information on that, honestly, somewhere around here, in their blog post about the situation.
It's fascinating.
I don't know what this means in terms of good or bad things. I just found it amazing that this is something that happened.
I think it could be good. I don't know. This may be a wrong take, but here's my knee-jerk take. Mm-hmm. Spotify sucks.
Yeah.
I'm not saying everybody's better, but pretty much everybody's better. Now, you have like lesser of two evil situation, because obviously digital streaming is not a viable method of most artists making money in the music business, but it hasn't been for a long time. And most artists who are doing it successfully make money in a handful of other avenues.
Have to.
But something like this, taking down the worst of the worst, or who knows if it'll take them down? I don't know.
I doubt
it'll at least devalue them. Are they a publicly traded company?
I can't imagine they're not.
Oh, that'd be wild if they were. It'd be interesting to see. Oh, they
Spotify
are.
is, yeah.
Did their stock price tank when this happened?
Honestly, I doubt it. Well,
whoa.
It shot up somewhere on the 7th. Oh, this is only one day. Let's look
today.
at
Go like
1 month.
1 month.
So where's this? Geez. This is December. What day did this happen? December 20th was their blog. I think it happened a little bit before then. But
the news would have hit about right there.
I wouldn't call it tank. These seem like probably common fluctuations.
Okay, how could that not affect the stock price evaluation of a company? Like, what does Spotify offer IP wise that's not the data that they...
I'm not a businessman or a financial guru. But my thought is, how many people are actually going to partake in downloading this or even selectively downloading parts of this archive for personal use?
That's heartbreaking.
Well, I don't, is it though? I mean, one of the benefits that we saw and kind of where piracy took a downturn across all industries is the ease of use that is paid versus the ease of use for piracy and the kind of, I don't know, the low hanging fruit. Spotify first hits the market or, iTunes Music or whatever you want to look at. And now all of a sudden you can pay, what was it when it first came out? Like $6 a month, $7 a month.
It was real cheap.
And then you can stream your music. Cool. I don't need to pirate music anymore because now it's not spending $20 on an album.
Yeah.
And then digitizing it yourself and then putting it on your, iPod Touch or your phone during that era. Now I can just stream everything for low cost.
Well, and honestly, like when Spotify first came out, it made you feel good about what you were doing. Like, oh, I'm paying. And now the artists are going to get paid because pirating was like the only way to get it unless you physically went to a show.
Yeah. And we see that in the video game industry with like Xbox Game Pass, PlayStation Plus giving you some free games every month, that kind of thing, where if we just focus on the PC, because that's where piracy is actually kind of prevalent, you can now get Xbox Game Pass and incredibly deep discounts on Steam, for example. So you can pay $3 and have the actual official version of the game through Steam, or you can go pirate it, but then you have to jump through all the hoops to make it work. A lot of the times there's workarounds if you want to play a multiplayer game, so on and so forth. So I think we're still in this era where the price is going up for streaming, but it's just so easy still for people that a very small margin of people I think would ever or are still pirating their music. And I know that looking in forums and stuff, there are a handful of folks. You have the extreme audiophiles who want the best version of something, so they're pirating the highest quality they can find. You have the tinfoil hat people that, I pirate everything because it's my own, like it can be mine on my drives.
Yeah.
It's in my possession. But I still think that almost everybody, especially, people that don't even know that the Spotify scraping happened, they don't know anything about the world of piracy. They're technologically literate enough to install an app and that's it. Nobody's going to be leaving that anytime soon, I don't think.
It's kind of wild and like very worrying. Like Spotify confirmed that in his archive scraped it, took all the data, confirmed that no like user information was leaked, and the news. So this is the analyst's outlook. News did not appear to have an immediate or material impact on the company's valuation or future stock prices.
Yeah.
that is bonkers.
I don't know, man. Again, it makes sense to me because I don't think.
So what is Spotify then? If not their, I don't know.
The business of Spotify is still provide a convenient solution to people for them to listen to music.
But they don't do that. Like they've shown in multiple stages, like they're screwing with that whole process. Like they will show you what is the most adding value to themselves and like circumventing any way to do that or devaluing artists' plays, paying less, setting arbitrary thresholds.
You're right about that. But their service is still the same. Of somebody gets one app, they pay one fee, and they can listen to any music they want. Yeah. And I think, again, from our perspective, we know all these underpinnings. You know how many people I try to evangelize any option other than Spotify, and they don't leave Spotify, even though it's more expensive, because to them, I don't know, I just already use it.
Yeah.
And we can liken this probably to the advent of YouTube and Netflix and all these other streaming services, to people that they have a death grip on cable. They have a death grip on paying $150 a month, watching all of their advertisements to break up their shows. When you say, hey, that's on streaming right now, right? You can just go pay $10 a month or whatever the price was at that time. So I don't know, man.
What's the thing called where you fall in love with your kidnapper?
Stockholm syndrome.
It's like,
yeah.
I've got some of my friends are like, well, I just like you said, they use it, so they're not going to leave it. But like, there's so many tools to move your playlists,
or they don't care if it sounds any better or worse. There's a lot of people that don't care.
Yeah, but then pay more for it.
I know, man. In acquisition territory, this is taking a little bit of a step outside of Spotify, but did you hear about Netflix and their deal with Warner Brothers?
Mm-mm.
Brother, Netflix owns them.
They own Warner Brothers.
$88 billion deal.
No. So Netflix now owns... So we can stream Animaniacs finally.
Maybe. Unless Netflix spins up a sister company. There's a lot of ideas of what could take place. There's also a conversation on like how this impacts the theater. Are theaters now, like, is this the final nail in the coffin for public theaters? Is Netflix going to look into kind of partnering up with some theaters and creating like a Netflix experience instead of what we traditionally know as theatrical releases, things like that? I don't think the future path is very set in stone right now. It's pretty crazy. Maybe it's not fully done.
I'm looking to see what all like.
I thought this was done and they had wiped their hands and Netflix owns them now, but it looks like there's other stuff in the news right now about Paramount offer to Warner Bros. Instead of Netflix.
So Warner Brothers is a subsidiary of Time Warner.
Mm-hmm.
So that was where my head immediately went. So like, okay, what happens to Warner Music? Because the Warner Music Group is like they own everything.
Yeah.
Warner Music Group.
I believe that this is just
they're IPs, not part of the deal.
Yeah, visual IPs and things like that from Warner Brothers.
Good Lord.
Which
could
is
you
so
imagine
crazy
if one company owned the majority of multiple types of...
This headline says that they bought HBO.
Warner Brothers and HBO. So Animaniacs, we finally get that crossover with
HBO Max.
Game of
Was
Thrones?
HBO owned by Warner Brothers? Was that part of the deal? 'Cause that's wild if it is. I didn't know that.
Time Warner owns HBO.
I'll need to look more on that because it was an $88 billion deal, which on the surface is a bunch of money. But when you think about all of Warner Brothers, it seems like a pretty low amount of money, even though Warner Brothers has been on the decline for like a decade or more now. But if that includes HBO Max, then that's a wild price.
I mean, HBO was owned by Time Warner.
Yeah.
So, whoa.
This is $72 billion was the acquisition. So that's even less money.
HBO's. Ooh. Here, we'll just toss in HBO.
Yeah.
Sweeten the deal.
Yeah. That's wild.
That's crazy.
Speaking of HBO, we have that as one of our streaming services now. We haven't had Netflix for a while. And we just got HBO for, there was a show that Kara likes and it was on there. I don't remember what it was, but during the wintertime, which it's still the wintertime, during the holiday season, Kara and I watched all the Harry Potter movies on HBO. And why are we taking a step back? I brought up cable earlier. Why are we taking a step backwards in time to that era again where we pay for a subscription of HBO, but we still get served advertisements?
Oh, yeah.
And the icing on top, the advertisements are a good 15 or more decibels louder
Yeah.
than whatever you're watching. How's that legal? That seems like there should be. I feel as though there probably
Some
was a
audio
law.
engineer. I feel like there should be a law in place.
I feel like there was when it came to like television.
Yeah, you had to hit broadcast standards of loud, but there were ways around it, of course.
Yeah.
And there still is. It's a lot easier when it's digital.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot more drastic now, too. Like, oh my gosh, dude.
Well, especially if you know like how TVs compress, or most people don't turn off like the default like voice louder ish.
The dialogue booster or whatever it is.
You can manipulate that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what's really interesting? Hulu is owned by Disney, Comcast, and Fox. 32% Disney, 32% Comcast, 36% 21st Century Fox.
Dang.
That's weird.
It is weird.
Know where your stuff comes from. I'm learning a whole lot right now.
That's good though.
Huh.
I don't honestly love using any of them.
We downloaded the Hulu trial from Disney Plus just to watch Bob's Burgers.
That's why we have Hulu. For Bob's Burgers.
Bobby. Wow, we've gone down a media rabbit hole.
Well, okay. I want to take one more step into the media rabbit hole because I saw in the news that, where did this go? So a company, Krotos, not heard of them before, but they have a new AI-powered tool for Foley creation where things like, their examples were cloth and footsteps, but it will look at your content.
Oh, I've seen this, yeah.
And if you need to add Foley to it, it will implement AI to match footsteps. And from my understanding, it will also match like contextually the environment that you're in and as best as it can, like the materials that you're walking on and stuff like that.
This has been out for a while.
Then maybe there's a huge update because this was pretty big in the like music gear news recently. I had never heard of it before, but I feel as though like Foley artists to me are like an unsung hero that nobody knows about, but if they were gone, everybody would be upset.
Yeah.
And I
mean, I don't think it's because this has been around for a little while, like not a long time, but I've been fed ads for this for a while. And like some of the videos that they put out are like just making random noises and replacing it with gunshots or whatever. And it's like, okay, it'll do an okay job, but it's also like how drum samples or VSTs were going to get rid of drummers. Like you can have something too perfect or like an AI doesn't know. There's certain levels of context that it just can't nail. Maybe it will someday. I don't know. But like that's the artistry and having intention, because this thing doesn't know what it like may know what it's creating, but not why. And that intention behind it, I feel like audio, you can hear stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that they're just like, I mean, all these artistic professions, there's a level of creativity and art that goes into it. And there are people out there, I'm sure, that will give you a list of their favorite Foley implementations in cinema and shows and stuff.
I don't think I could name a single one, but like
no, but see, that's the beauty of it, right?
Yeah.
Like you could definitely tell me if you saw something and it was just bad sound design.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if it's good, you're immersed and you're enjoying that experience. I just want to bring it up. We were talking about the acquisition, and I saw this headline of some maybe new engine they're using or new version release that Krotos put out. But it just made me wonder for the first time about job security for that part of the music industry, because it's a huge industry.
Yeah, this was like back in Captain Marvel, Lion King, Frozen 2. So it's been out for a minute. Yeah.
But also since then, the advancements in kind of visual recognition, AI have skyrocketed, like magnitudes better than probably when it came out. So I don't know, man. It's just
You out there trying to squish chains together to make it sound like a monster? AI's coming for your job.
Yeah. And if you don't know anything about Foley and kind of how that works, pull up some YouTube videos. It's so cool.
It's wild.
And the creativity of...
I love watching horror. I don't like this breaking celery for bones. Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Or like stacking a few different slabs of meat and then you punch it to get these different like sounds to come out. It's crazy stuff. It's really, really cool. Again, unsung heroes of the audio world, I think.
Now it's time for Record Rex.
Before we hop into Record Rex, if this is your first time watching, welcome. And whether it's your first time or you've rewatched every episode 100 times. Well, hopefully not your last time, but it could be. Who knows? Why don't you hit subscribe, hit like. It helps us, and it maybe helps you with an altruistic deed that takes little effort.
Make you feel all good about yourself.
Oh, yeah. Jeremy, what have you been listening to?
Okay, I got a couple here. Let me pick one.
I'm glad you got a couple because I have not been listening to music.
Okay, I'm gonna go for a weird one, not the one you just heard.
Do it. Hit me.
Okay. Bjork, Army of Me. I know.
Is this a new Bjork?
Yes, and it's all like this, dude. The opening sounds.
This is cool.
I want to try to recreate this drum sound.
It's very like late 90s rock to me. Like that industrial.
Yep. And like the bass with like the synth pedal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very like art.
It's very Bjork.
Yeah. You've heard so far, like this is basically the whole song, but that initial groove, I'm just like, oh, it's so good.
This is 95, my
Is
man.
it really?
Yeah. That's why I was like, new
Why
Bjork?
did it keep like getting served to me now?
Maybe it just knew you need some Bjork in your life. I mean, I'm not
It
mad
popped
about
up on new releases. What is happening?
Maybe it was a remaster or something.
Oh, you know what? It may have been.
Yeah. Still cool. I'm not mad about it. The sound design makes sense, though, given the era.
Yeah, 1995.
Yeah. That was the thing,
Way
man.
to call out the 90s in the correct fashion.
Doesn't always happen, but every once in a while I have a lucky guess.
Wow. Why is that like... Even in the video, I was like, oh, she looks young.
Maybe this
Because it was
is
30 years ago.
maybe this is kind of the push that like now's the time for those sounds to come back.
Oh,
You know, everything is cyclical.
let's bring back the 90s, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Sam's got the Jinkos.
You got a point.
Yeah.
Well, that was an old song for you. Listening to the oldies over here.
That's okay.
That drum groove. Well, that's even more impressive because you know it was a real drum set.
You know what? Yeah. Yeah.
Now I really want to try to recreate that. Ooh. Like, I mean, I guess it could have been like...
It could have been samples still, but not in the way that we use them today.
No. Interesting.
Because that was also like the birth of that drum and bass stuff.
I have an idea of how to do it, but I don't know if it's going to work. But I need a really big saucepan.
Like, are we like a wok?
No, like a really big, like something you'd brew a lot of beer in. I could probably use one of my big kegs, but I want to like, I think put it in front of the kit and just put a 57 inside of it.
Oh.
And just compress the snot out of that. And I think you'll get that sound.
I want you to try it now. That sounds fun.
Yeah, I really want to try it.
Oh, man.
Maybe we should just make a video like recreating those 4 bars.
We should. Did you see the new Neural video with Henrik?
No. Do they have a new bass plug?
No. Not Matterhorn. This one with Owain. So it's Jack Gardner, Owain, and Henrik.
Aluminum foil?
Yeah, I think it's a meme. It's a corn dog.
Oh,
What's that? I don't know. It's some sort of storage unit, I think. I can't believe they used to make them that big.
That's what she said.
Should we check it out? It's probably full of Zuma licks.
Let's check it out.
ooh.
This song's cool. It gives me like, oh, what's the song?
Is that the bass company?
Yeah, Madison.
Oh, this is a soccer playing song, you know?
This whole song is just, it's got the vibe, but they got some licks in here.
Oh my God, he's so good. He's one of those players, it's like, it's just so effortless. It sounds like what every 90s sitcom wanted to sound like.
Wait a second.
He's a doctor. She's a lawyer. Will they ever find love?
Well, they have 2 kids. Just
Gosh.
and the movie is so goofy. I just love it. But
They got a pirate ship.
have you listened to Owain? He's the other guitar player in here.
I never have, no.
Okay, maybe this will be my official record rec because this song inspired a riff in one of the songs that we tracked here with Joshua. Let's see.
That's a weird circle.
It is a very weird circle.
Because I've only ever done like your guys' heavy stuff.
Uh-huh. It is from Groove of Satan.
What a name.
I don't even
Love
know,
juice.
I don't even know how I found this
Gross.
guy, but it's just like the coolest fusion stuff.
Ooh.
Trying to figure out the time.
No, I'm listening to the piano player.
Meow, meow, meow. It was that part right there.
Who is that piano player?
Let me see if I can find
Because
info on this.
it's like somebody mixed up Pliny with Tigran
Oh,
Hamashian.
yeah.
But there's another piano player that I'm trying to. I can never pronounce this dude's name.
Weren't you able to look up artist info at some point on YouTube Music?
Sometimes.
Am I just being dumb about how to do this? Also, I don't know what's going on with my computer, but it's being weird.
Eldar Jengarov.
Is that who's on it? Or is that who you were
That's
thinking
who
of?
I'm thinking it sounds like.
It could have been. Jazz.
Did he play keys? Holy moly. Plays all of it himself. What?
I had no idea about that.
Holy
Okay,
cow.
well, that gives me a whole new appreciation. Let me go back to one other song by
What?
Wayne then. Oh my gosh, dude. This whole album, yeah, whatever, is insane.
That makes it totally different.
Yeah.
What? Oh, okay. That's good.
Oh man, that makes me
Please
mad
save
now. How can one person be so dang good at everything? Hate it. And if you hate it too, subscribe. That was a roller coaster. That was maybe the most just off the rails record wrecks we've ever had.
We went to a lot of places.
We went everywhere and nowhere all at the same time.
And if you want to go nowhere, follow, subscribe, like, share,
Messenger pigeon.
donate to your local food drive.
Yep.
That's just kind. That has nothing to do with us. That's just kind.
And in keeping with the theme of today, we talked about some old school media devices. Be kind, rewind this episode. Start from the beginning, rewatch it. Maybe pull it up on a different account. Who knows?
All right. Bye.
See ya.